Yes, hi. Right. See, actually, we were learning about the detection of gases in practical chemistry. So, we learned how oxygen gas, hydrogen gas, and water vapor. So, we have studied how to detect these, these gases and how to prepare these gases and what are the properties of these gases. So, we learned. Now, we learn about another gas. Suppose if I have a test tube into which I put a salt, ammonium salt. I kept ammonium salt. Maybe it is ammonium chloride, or else ammonium sulfate, etc. Such salts, ammonium nitrate, or else anything. So, when these salts are made to react with alkali, when these salts are made to react with alkali, what is an alkali? Alkali means water soluble base. Water soluble base. An alkali is a water soluble base. Okay. Example, NaOH solution is an alkali, or else KOH solution, etc. So NaOH is a water soluble base. Okay, right. See, when an alkali is mixed with ammonium salt, due to the reaction between these two, certain a gas is released. A gas is released. So it is colorless gas. It is a colorless gas. So from this it is understood that this gas is, it may be a gas other than what, Cl2 or NO2, because Cl2 is a greenish yellow gas, NO2 is a reddish brown gas. So this is as this is a colorless gas, so we can conclude that the gas is neither chlorine nor NO2. It may be some other gases. So when in the previous class we have seen the list of the gases, 11 important gases. So now next we'll go with other. Here actually, when the atmosphere is moist, moist means, it contains moisture. That means water vapor. So when this gas, it fumes. Fumes means just it forms fumes. Visible, clear visible vapors. Okay, clear visible vapors. So are called as fumes. So that means this gas. Okay, this gas fumes. This gas fumes with moist air. That means these vapors are clearly seen. So this gas may not be visible, but these vapors are clearly seen when it is mixed with moisture, because it is white, dense fumes. These are somewhat white, dense fumes. Somewhat. Okay. Now, if you test the odor means smell. So it is showing sharp biting smell. Sharp biting smell. And also brings tears in the eyes. So already we learnt which gas produces tears in the eyes and which gas is will produce sharp biting smell. So the gas is ammonia. So from this we can easily understood the gas is ammonia gas. But in order to make a confirmation, we will proceed with further steps like litmus test. What is litmus test? So in litmus test we use either blue litmus paper or red litmus paper. See, already we have seen that ammonia, it's a basic in nature. So it turns red litmus to blue. Hence it is a basic in gas. The nature of this gas is basic gas. So from this it is understood that the gas is ammonia. Okay, and still more we can go with further confirmation. So simply by dipping the rod in HCl and introducing into this glass. Suppose this is a HCl liquid acid. Which one it is? It's an acid. It is HCl, and just simply dip a rod into this and bring that the rod which is dipped in HCl. So when it is brought, what happens? These HCl vapors will come. So now these vapors are ammonia vapors. So what happens when ammonia vapors come into contact with the HCl vapors? Immediately what happens? White dense fumes of ammonium chloride. White dense fumes of ammonium chloride are formed. That means very dense white fumes of ammonium chloride are formed. So that means when a glass rod dipped in HCl is brought near the mouth of a test tube from which a gas is released, and if this gas could produce white dense fumes, then this gas definitely will be ammonia. No other gas will produce white dense fumes with HCl. Okay, so only ammonia will produce white dense fumes with HCl. When a glass rod is dipped in HCl, is brought near the mouth of this gas, or when this glass rod is introduced into this gas, so what happens? Now the HCl vapors and ammonia vapors, both of them will react with each other to form ammonium chloride, so which causes white dense fumes. So from this it is understood that the gas is ammonia gas. Right. So in this way ammonia gas can be obtained by making these two substances react with each other. That means ammonium salts, when are reacted with alkalis, they liberate ammonia gas. So ammonia gas can also be liberated when metal nitrates, metal nitride, for example calcium nitride or aluminum nitride or else zinc nitride, etc. Metal nitrides. Okay, so when metal nitrides are treated with warm water, in that case also ammonia gas is liberated. Okay, warm water. So in this case also ammonia gas is prepared. That means ammonia gas we can prepare by making by reacting the metal nitrides with warm water, or else by reacting ammonium salts with alkali. So I mean, during these reactions, ammonia gas is evolved. So ammonia gas have some characteristic properties like sharp biting smell. It produces tears in the eyes. Okay, and it turns red litmus to blue. So any gas which turns red litmus to blue will possess basic nature. That means ammonia is a basic gas. So from this it is understood. So the only gas which is basic in the list of 11 gases is ammonia. So from this it is understood the gas is ammonia gas. Simply by litmus test also it is identified. And further confirmation can be done by bringing a glass rod which is dipped in HCl, hydrochloric acid. When this glass rod is brought near the mouth of this test tube from which the ammonia vapors are liberated, so these ammonia vapors will combine with HCl vapors. They react with each other to form white dense fumes of ammonium chloride. So from this it is understood that the evolved gas is ammonia. So like this, so detection of ammonia gas is also can be learned by in this way. Okay, now we will learn the detection of the next gas, carbon dioxide. So how carbon dioxide is detected? So far we have seen the detection of oxygen, hydrogen, water vapor and ammonia. Now we will learn about the detection of carbon dioxide, okay, and the properties and how carbon dioxide is prepared. So those things we will learn. Suppose if I take a test tube, I put a little amount of carbonate or bicarbonate, metal carbonate or metal bicarbonate. For example, metal carbonate means take metals like sodium carbonate, etc. Okay, Na2CO3, metal bicarbonate. Bicarbonate means so hydrogen carbonates. So this is called as bicarbonate. So I have taken a metal carbonate or metal bicarbonate in a test tube and I have added some mineral acids. Mineral acid. What is this mineral acid? Maybe it may be dilute HCl or dilute H2SO4. Okay, when these two substances are added to each other, they react with each other. So generally any metal carbonate when made to react with an acid, so what forms? It forms a salt. Okay, it forms a salt and liberation of carbon dioxide and water takes place. For example, take Na2CO3. Okay, Na2CO3, sodium carbonate. It's a metal. Sodium is a metal and it's carbonate. Acid, let us take HCl. What happens? The sodium will react with chlorine, okay, to form NaCl, and carbon dioxide is there. CO3 is there. So from CO3, CO2 will come out in the form of gas. So CO2, and what is left over? One oxygen is left over here, and here two hydrogens are left over. So it forms water like this. Okay. Now here, look here. So a gas is liberated due to the reaction between these two substances. A gas is liberated. Now, if you observe this gas, it is colorless. colorless, and it is not, the gas is not Cl2 or NO2. Next, if you see the order, it is orderless. So the orderless, as it is orderless, it may be oxygen or hydrogen or water vapor or else CO2. So from its characteristic property, orderless. So these are the gases which are orderless gases. Banji. Okay. Orderless gases. So that means colorless and orderless. So all these are colorless and orderless. So which gas is this? Either this one or any of these. So in order to know the exact thing, or else what is this gas exactly, so we have to go with the further test like litmus test. So here in litmus test, so out of these gases, only this gas will respond to the litmus paper because it is an acidic gas. So what happens? It turns blue litmus. It turns blue litmus to red. Suppose if a moist litmus paper is brought into this gas, moist blue litmus paper. So when this moist blue litmus paper, it turns to red. If this gas is able to turn moist blue litmus paper to red, then this gas, the nature of this gas will be acidic. So actually now this gas is turning blue litmus to red. Hence, so out of these four gases, so now the gas, the only gas which turns blue litmus to red is carbon dioxide, because these three are neutral towards litmus. Carbon dioxide is an acidic gas. So finally, with litmus test, we can tell that the evolved gas is carbon dioxide. But still we may further, go for testing. Okay, that means actually, suppose when a burning woods, burning wooden strip or else burning splint is brought near this gas, what happens? So this gas will put off the flame. So it puts off the flame. So now carbon dioxide shows such behavior because carbon dioxide will put off the fire. So the gas is turning off the fire or flame, okay, without any sound. So it is not making any sound like tup or pup. So hence it is not H2. Okay, so it is not H2. Okay, the gas is turning off the flame. Hence it is not hydrogen. Even hydrogen also will put off the flame. Even carbon dioxide also put off the flame, but carbon dioxide silently it puts off the flame. Okay, and here if it is oxygen, what happens? If this is oxygen gas, so the flame will flare up means, so it brights, the flame will burn more bright. So if it is oxygen, but here what is happening? So this gas, it is putting off the flame. This gas is putting off the flame. So that means without making any sound, as it is putting off the flame, so finally we can come to a conclusion that it is carbon dioxide gas. And still there is another test. The nature of this carbon dioxide. See, one thing we have to learn about carbon dioxide. CO2, it is neither supporter nor combustible. It is do not support combustion of any material. Do not support combustion of any material. Actually, this one is producing flame. When it is producing flame, means it is undergoing combustion. So when this flame is exposed to this gas, what happens? This gas is putting off the flame. That means this gas is not supporting the combustion. That means carbon dioxide do not support combustion. And also it is non-combustible. Non-combustible. It does not undergo combustion. See, hydrogen is a combustible gas. Hydrogen already we learned. So do not support combustion. Do not support combustion. Do not support combustion, but itself will undergo combustion. Itself will undergo combustion. So already we learned about this one. So this is the behavior of hydrogen. That means do not support combustion but undergo combustion. But carbon dioxide do not support combustion and do not undergo combustion. It is non-combustible. That means it neither supporter of combustion, nor combustible gas. So these two properties are not there for carbon dioxide. And one more thing, this the peculiar behavior of this gas is it turns this gas. See, when this gas is allowed, see, I have taken lime water. Lime water. What is lime water? Lime water is nothing but calcium hydroxide solution, COH solution. So nearly 2%. So nearly it is of 2%. 2% calcium hydroxide solution nearly. So when lime water is taken, and when this gas is allowed to pass into this, when this gas is allowed to pass, when this gas is allowed to pass into this lime water, what happens? So this gas, it turns lime water milky. So carbon dioxide gas, it turns lime water milky. Milky white solution is formed. Okay, that means when carbon dioxide is allowed to pass through the lime water. So what is the formula of lime water? CaOH taken twice. So both of them will react with each other to form calcium carbonate, and moisture is formed and water is formed. So calcium carbonate, it is an insoluble solid. It's an insoluble solid. So what happens? It's an insoluble white marble. It is the other name for calcium carbonate is marble. That means it's a white colored substance. So what happens? The solution will turn white, milky white. So that means carbon dioxide turns lime water milky. So milky white. The milky white of the solution lime water is due to formation of calcium carbonate. The milky white is due to the formation of calcium carbonate. Okay, let it be. See, look here. Simply, when lime water into this lime water, when this gas is introduced, so this gas will turn the lime water milky. So from all these things, we can easily conclude that the evolved gas is carbon dioxide. And one more thing, it does not affect K2Cr2O7. See one thing we have to learn. The gases, there are some other gas also which turns lime water milky. What are the other gases? So this one gas is carbon dioxide. One gas is carbon dioxide. another is sulfur dioxide gas, and even the H2S gas also. So these three gases will turn lime water milky. So these three gases, they have the property of turning the lime water milky. These three gases will have the property of turning lime water milky. So suppose if we test only this test alone without going with all these things, then we will be in a confusion that this gas is which one, either CO2 or SO2 or H2S. So without doing all these things, if we directly pass this gas into the lime water, okay, and if lime water is turning to milky, okay, then we will be into a confusion that whether this gas is CO2 or SO2 or H2S, because all these three gases will have this nature of turning lime water milky. Then in that case, how to find out further confirmations test without doing all these things? Simply if you do this one, and if you are unable to identify the gas, which gas out of these three, so we will go with further tests. What are the further tests? Simply, if it is carbon dioxide, if it is CO2, what happens? It does not affect potassium dichromate or KMnO4 solution. Does not react with K2Cr2 solution. Suppose if it is SO2, what happens? It turns K2Cr2O7, so it is potassium dichromate, so it is orange in color, so it turns potassium dichromate solution to green color solution, green. Okay, so carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, both will turn lime water milky. So how to differentiate, how to know which gas is this gas, because both the gases are turning lime water milky. So in that case, further we can know the exact gas. So by conducting such such tests, like making to react this carbon dioxide with potassium dichromate solution. So carbon dioxide does not affect it does not show any reaction with potassium dichromate solution. Okay, and even with KMnO4 also, no reaction with KMnO4 solution. Carbon dioxide shows no reaction with the KMnO4 solution. What is the color of KMnO4? Actually, the color of this one is nearly purple to violet, purple or violet colored solution. So the purple or violet color of the solution, it remains the same when carbon dioxide is passed through KMnO4. But when SO2 is passed through KMnO4, this SO2 turns KMnO4 solution to colorless. KMnO4 solution is turned to colorless by SO2. SO2 can react with the KMnO4, and that KMnO4 solution is turned to colorless. But CO2 does not show reaction with KMnO4 and does not change the color. Okay, now so from the test of potassium dichromate solution and KMnO4 solution, we can easily differentiate carbon dioxide from SO2. And even H2S, H2S also does not show these reactions. So no reaction with K2Cr2O7 or no reaction with KMnO4. But H2S has a special reaction. See, with lead acetate, it turns silvery black. H2S reacts. It reacts with lead acetate. Lead acetate. Lead acetate. PbCH3COO. COO taken twice. Okay. So H2S reacts with lead acetate and finally it turns to silvery black. Silvery black due to the formation of lead sulfide. What is the color of lead sulfide? The color of lead sulfide is silvery black. Okay, H2S reacts with lead acetate to convert and finally due to the reaction between these two, so lead sulfide is formed a black colored substance, silvery black colored substance. So here CO2 does not react with lead acetate. CO2 do not react with what? Lead acetate. And even SO2 also do not react with lead acetate. Only H2S will react with lead acetate and finally convert that lead acetate solution. It forms a silvery black colored substance. So from these three, from these tests, we can easily differentiate whether this gas is carbon dioxide gas or SO2 gas or H2S gas, because all these three gases will turn lime water milky. So we, in order to know which gas the above is, without knowing these things, the reactants, if we have only one gas, okay, we don't know what are the reactants, and we simply know there is a gas, and this gas is able to turn lime water milky. So if someone asks to identify what is that gas, then we have to go with these tests. So carbon dioxide, it simply turns lime water milky. It does not affect potassium dichromate solution, or else it does not affect KMnO4 solution, and even CO2 does not react with lead acetate solution. So it simply turns lime water milky. Okay, but if this gas is SO2, it turns a potassium dichromate solution to green, and if it is SO2, it turns, this gas will turn potassium permanganate, this potassium permanganate solution to colorless. Okay, so these two are the characteristics of SO2. Of course, SO2 also does not react with lead acetate. Okay, suppose if this is H2S gas, so it then this gas does not react with K2Cr2O7, or else it does not react with KMnO4. Simply it reacts with lead acetate and finally produce silvery black colored substance known as lead sulfide. So from this the detection of carbon dioxide is finished. Now let us learn about HCl gas. Okay, so far we have seen oxygen, hydrogen, water vapor, ammonia gas and carbon dioxide gas. So all these gases we have seen. And one more thing, carbon dioxide gas, here we have seen how carbon dioxide is prepared. Carbon dioxide is prepared when metal carbonates or metal bicarbonates are reacted with dilute mineral acids. Okay, so carbon dioxide can also be prepared simply by strong heating bicarbonates of metals. So CO2 can also be prepared when metal bicarbonates Metal bicarbonates are strongly heated, then also we'll get carbon dioxide gas. For example, calcium bicarbonate. Okay, so we'll get carbon dioxide gas. So with other substances are also formed here. So here what happens, it forms calcium carbonate plus carbon dioxide, and even water is also formed. Okay, so in this way, when metal bicarbonates are strongly heated, so we'll get liberation of carbon dioxide. So this is also another method for the preparation of carbon dioxide. Okay, and there is one more method. See, strongly heating carbonates also. So metal bicarbonates, even metal carbonates upon strongly heating also will produce what? Carbon dioxide. But in case of carbonates, so we should not choose sodium carbonate or potassium carbonate. So because these two cannot produce carbon dioxide gas. Okay, simply they melt, but they does not give carbon dioxide. So all these are the exceptions, except all metal carbonates upon strongly heating they produce carbon dioxide. So except sodium carbonate and potassium carbonate. So these two, sodium or potassium carbonates, so they melt upon heating. When they are heated, they simply melt, but they does not evolve carbon dioxide gas. Okay, right. So this is these are the different ways how to prepare carbon dioxide. Okay, now we will learn about the other gas. Okay. Suppose I have a chloride or a chloride substance. Either it may be metal chloride, or metal chloride or ammonium chloride or ammonium. When it is made to react with concentrated sulfuric acid. So what is this one? So this is the substance, and this is what? Concentrated sulfuric acid, not diluted. So this is concentrated sulfuric acid. So we have to boil this one. We have to boil the mixture. So boiling. So when the mixture of concentrated sulfuric acid and metal chloride, or concentrated sulfuric acid and ammonium chloride, so when that mixture is boiled, so what happens? So a gas is evolved from this. Now, if you see the nature of this gas it is colorless. It is a colorless, and from which gas it may be? It is neither Cl2 nor NO2. Okay, it is understood, because it is a colorless. Next, odor. If you see the odor, so it is pungent smell. It is a pungent smell. Already we know which gases are having pungent smell. HCl and NO2. Okay, HCl and NO2 have pungent smell, we learnt. And even it is irritating odor. So irritation, you will feel sensation of irritation. So from this, as it is colorless and it is pungent smell and irritation, so from these actually acidic gases will show such behavior. So acidic gases will show such behavior. Got it? That means it may be HCl or HNO3. Acidic gas means either it is HCl or HNO3. So we'll show such a behavior. Okay. So in order to know it in clear or else exactly, so we have to go with further tests. So what is that further test? Litmus test. As it already it is suppose litmus test. So this gas is turning what moist blue litmus to red. It is turning moist blue litmus paper litmus to red color. So from this it is understood that the nature of this gas is acidic nature. So this is acidic gas. So what gas it is exactly, in order to know, simply what we will do, suppose this is ammonia solution. What is this one? Ammonia solution. Ammonia solution. When a glass rod dipped in ammonia solution, if it is brought near the mouth of this test tube, or else when it is exposed to these vapors, acidic vapors, suppose, see, look here, this glass rod will produce ammonia vapors. Okay, suppose if these vapors, or else if this gas could able to react with these vapors, ammonia vapors, and white dense fumes, if it could produce, that means this gas when reacted with ammonia X gas, we don't know what is this gas, so we are expecting this gas to be acidic gas. So when ammonia solution, when a glass rod dipped in ammonia solution is brought near this one, what happens? So this, when if it could able to produce white dense fumes, or else thick white fumes, so పొగలు, తెల్లటి పొగలు. So compulsory these fumes should be of ammonium chloride. That means it is what? Ammonium chloride, NH4Cl. So which gas will produce ammonium chloride with ammonia? So compulsorily X should be HCl. So finally we can come to a conclusion that the above gas is hydrogen chloride gas. Okay, because the gas which can produce white dense fumes with ammonia solution is only HCl. Okay, HCl, that is a special case. See, ammonia when reacted with HCl, it produces white dense fumes. Even HCl also when react with ammonia, again in that case also white dense fumes are produced. So whenever HCl and ammonia they combine with each other, or else when they react, so they produce white dense fumes of ammonium chloride. So from this it is understood that the acidic gas in this the acidic gas released during this reaction is HCl. Okay, so from this it is understood the gas eliminated is HCl. In this way HCl gas is detected. So like this. So we will learn the other gases in the next section, or else in the next period. Okay, na? Right.